Hello guys, and welcome back to Prequel. We're making a cat... I know how to words. I've been messing up words all day today. Making a cat cry. We left off figuring out if Katia's gonna get a friend. Probably not. But she can try. Katia, acquire follower. Oh, hey, so her job and livelihood is basically being the town Khajiit, which certainly explains why she has been so standoffish towards you. It's doubtful one town has enough business to support two Khajiit, whose basic skill set can be summarized as, is a Khajiit. You didn't spell Khajiit right. Does 1 a.m. strike you as a sensible time for a spot of spearfishing? No. The time that someone who is so worried about some stranger muscling in on her gig runs into the snow without any shoes goes spearfishing. Reassure her by casually mentioning that you will be leaving town soon, and also mention that before you go you would like to take care of the imp job that the store lady has, but need a partner as it's too big a problem for one Khajiit alone. She's gonna volunteer to do it by herself if you imply that, isn't she? So hey, are you doing anything else tonight? The Khajiit who you think third-personed herself as Rajera tells you that she's not in the market for a relationship. Oh, I just noticed the eye twitch. Neither am I, but I was thinking about you platonically, and I'm guessing that maybe you feel kind of threatened by me since I'm sort of going and trying to infringe on all sorts of Khajiit jobs while you do your Khajiit jobs. I'm blowing this, aren't I? Rajer says she still isn't entirely sure what you're trying to do, but yes. This one is confident you are failing at it. Imps. The shopkeeper has some imps in their attic. They're, keeping her from getting to half her store, and she'd probably pay someone to get rid of them. Were you planning to help her? Rajir says that she is not a fighter. Imps are such a dangerous magical creature. Jobs better left to fighters give. But, hear me out. What about us together? We can both do the scary Khajiit eye thing, and you will have this big pointy stick that you have, and I can make telekinetic shields and stuff, and we could make lots of money. We could totally take that job right from under the fighters people's noses with our magic and your Khajiit skills. This one gravely dislikes everything about you. Me too, but we could both benefit from it, so what do you say? And fighting team and split the rewards 50-50? 70-30. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, that's probably more fair. Do we shake, or is there some sort of Khajiit thing? Stop talking and shake with hand. Then we go to store. Right. I'll meet you there, and we'll do this thing. Why do you have to meet her there? Why can't you just go straight there? That seems a bit awkward. At risk of sounding extremely racist, she kinda looks exactly like you. Maybe a bit older? Yeah, it's pointless to beat around the bush. She looks a lot like me in every way. She's awful pretty. Oh, I had someone flirt with me by doing that. They're talking about Ed Sheeran, and a few days earlier they were like, oh, you kind of look like Ed Sheeran, and they kind of pounded that into my head by saying it a couple of times, and then a couple other times when we were walking home together, she was saying that, oh yeah, I think you look like Ed Sheeran a lot, and it just it actually was the first time they said that clicked for me. And I kind of pointed it out to them, and they were like, oh, you caught on to that quick? Okay. Yeah, that's what I meant. And then I also was a confused wreck. That's about how that went. Thanks, I guess? Katia, continue to store. You should probably make up some sort of battle plan before you rush in there and get yourself killed. Also, is the store owner even going to let you kill the imps? mean, she said she wanted professionals. Right. I'll refocus on the task of hand. Even with Regier's help, I'm going to need a battle plan. I'm pretty sure the shopkeeper will accept my help if I offer it, since it sounds like she wants those imps gone. And I remember her mentioning the Fighters Guild was really expensive. And if she's looking for a professional, Rajira is a professional. She just has help from me. Sure, I guess she could say no and hire professional fighters anyway, but I'm trying not to dwell on all the things that might go wrong. Dwelling on all the things that might go wrong is at least the 5th item down on my list of things to do. This is my first potential real job in Kavach, and I've got to stroll in there confidently, collected, and not full of doubts. And if I'm going to show the shopkeeper that I and Raja are professionals who can handle this, I'm going to need to show her that specific tactics and ideas I have in mind. Tie something heavy to the end of a rope and make an improvised bludgeon flailing thing. Oh yeah, telekinesis. Okay, maybe I'll not show her that one. I'm pretty sure that's a terrible idea that will only end in pain. I guess the current plan is that Raja and I will burst into the room, do the scary Khajiit stare thing and scare the imps back out the window, then close or block it or something so they don't come back in. This should work fine, assuming there are only 2 imps up there, and that each of us scare a different one. If there's a third, I can use some shields for defenses, and Raja's sphere should be enough to poke it to death, I guess. And if there's even more than that, then... So, I have a feeling, with the amount of time she's spending thinking on this, that Raja is gonna go in there and do it herself while she's waiting. You chased a whole bunch of imps in the ruin. This is just one. You're not alone. Katia, go over the plan with Rajira, so the 2 of you can... Yeah, it's Rajira. I think I said Rajara at one point. So the 2 of you can be prepared for whatever might happen. Build each other's courage or something like that. We know you 2 could succeed in this quest mission thing. Katia, roll for small talk with Rajira. Add charisma modifiers. Inevitably fail due to an addition of negative modifiers. Okay. Katia's... She would definitely be a rogue, but a rogue that refuses to sneak attack. She's still got expertise in acrobatics. Khajiits naturally get proficiency in stealth, and she's rather quiet, and that's kind of the big plan, so she'd still have proficiency in that at the very least. I'd say she has the other expertise in charisma, but only when she's drunk. Usually you get disadvantage on checks when you're drunk, but she still gets advantage when she's drunk and trying to roll charisma to persuade. Yeah, that's probably how it would work, for the fact that she doesn't get a second expertise. Well, that would be her second expertise, but then that would be only applicable when she's using it in that way. I scampered over to Rajit and asked her what the plan is. I assume the 2 of us are going to scare the imps away with our Khajiit magic if there's just 2 of them, but if there are more hiding up there, then I guess I'll use the Eye of Fear on the nearest 2, and then you'll take the point and bring up... And then I'll take the point and bring up shields while you can spear any that rush us, unless you have a better idea. This one is planning to go in there, run the imps out, or through, and get a reward. For both sakes of the parties involved, this one hopes you pull your weight and aren't useless. I swear I'm not. I just want to make sure that you know exactly what's going down, so you don't make any mistakes or stuff. Not that you usually make mistakes. I'm just trying to make sure this goes well, like come up with tactics. Rajia tells you not to get yourself killed, and try not to get in this one's way. Those are Both valid combat strategies. Yeah. These ones will do that. Get super hyped about the inevitable imp beatdown that's totally gonna happen. Working together, that's also pretty neat. Note the beauty in how killing dangerous wildlife brings people together. I have to admit, it is kind of exciting. Not only am I about to embark on an actual job to get, actual money, but I'm working with someone. Not some pity trust or someone's supervision, but with an equal, maybe not an equal, but 70-30 equal is still better than what I'm used to. Sure, scaring little bat demons isn't the most glamorous thing in the world, and I'm not sure how much my partner likes me, but still. She seems reliable, and I'm pretty sure the two of us have thought this through enough that it won't totally backfire. Katia, apologize to Rajir for being so awkward, and while you're at it, seeing as she was in a similar situation as you when she came to town, ask her for some advice in getting back to your feet and staying there. Katia, try sharing some of your life experiences with Rajira. Maybe if she understands where you're coming from and sees that the two of you aren't so different, she would be more kindly dispositioned towards you. I don't think they have similar upbringings. If you state oh yeah, I was raised as royalty as your first starting bit, I don't think that's gonna click with her because she sounds like she has a sort of rags to somewhat riches story. Like American Dream, whereas you were just given everything and then kind of abandoned it all and kind of went down bad life paths, which is quite literally the opposite of what it seems like she has. So I don't think trying to tell her your story to get some sympathy is gonna go very well. To break the ice a little, could I tell you a bit more about myself? I just came to Cyrodiil about a week ago, trying to set out and make a new life. I've been trying to make some deliveries to Kvatch for a good friend of mine, though the first time I sort of got robbed on the way here, and the second time I got robbed after I arrived. I guess when I came here I wasn't expecting so much robbery? This one has never noticed it, Regia says. Perhaps the problem is with you. I admit I might have made some mistakes in that regard, like trusting the wrong people or maybe drinking copious quantities of the wrong things at the wrong time, but I still... Rajir cuts you off. This one is not interested in your excuses. She means a problem with your expectations. You said you came to Cyrodiil seeking a new life. Such implies an old life, yes? Yes, I had one, but it wasn't one I wanted. Rarely life is. But whatever life you had back in your homeland, it seemingly let you last this long, and presumably involved less risk, failure, and tedious inconvenience to friends. Perhaps in this old life you had found the high extent of your abilities, and there is only folly in these attempts to move beyond it or pursue some flawed, humane conception of dignity. A little on the nose, but yeah, I don't... hey, first of all, that's dismal and stupid. You're stupid. Second of all, I'm not even a human. Conception of dignity, it's a pretty elven thing and Argonian thing too. And third, you moved to Cyrodiil too. You said so yourself. Rajir specifies that she didn't move to Cyrodiil, she fled to Cyrodiil. A functional Khajiit runs away from danger, not headlong towards it. And this one is not stupid. They are realistic. She has no delusions of gaining great respect in human lands and becoming some fairy tale princess living in a castle. I'm not trying to become a... Look, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call you stupid. This is just kind of something I care about. Are we still friends? We were never friends. Okay, but are we less friends than we were before?
No.
I'll take it. If you're going to break into a building, Raja suggests using your friend to boost you up to a window. Most places don't lock the upstairs windows. I don't think she's coming along for that. You're two Khajiit going into a closed building in the dead of night. If that won't arouse suspicion from everyone going about at night, like the guards, the locals are a lot more trusting than I'd believe. Oh my gods, just because the two of us are Khajiits doesn't mean that we're going to break into the place. See, she knows we're here. And what are you doing? Everything is legal and fine. Oh, and Fighters Guild is already here, for some reason, in the dead of night. Put on my best formal face. I'm here to inquire about a job. Specifically a job regarding those imps in the attic. Me and my acquaintance have a plan to get them out, assuming you still need them out and are paying. The shopkeeper nods. You came in just the right time. If you can go any lower than the 200 septums Mr. Fighter's Guild over there is asking for the job, it's yours. Is 199 septums okay? Maybe you could go a little lower to account for any inventory loss. What do you mean? You know, things that might get damaged if you fight the imps? Oh, yeah, that's what I assumed you meant, and nothing else. Let's say 190? So what are your plans? The two of us are going to enter the attic like a pair of respectable Khajiit, and then tackle the problem head-on, like Khajiit, or any of the other races in Cyrodiil. Moving all of those boxes and chairs away from the stairs would make a lot of noise, but leaving it there would mean blocking an exit if you decide to use a window. Maybe one of you should climb up and scout the attic, then tie a rope and climb down, and make a plan. Already happening. Yep, just like a pair of Khajiit. What is Rajira doing? She got mad at you for taking rope that nobody really owned, and now she's doing something kind of shady looking? Yeah, because what she is doing right now is totally not a racial stereotype. Wait, aren't we trying to get the imps out through the window? The window Katia clone is going to climb into? Stop her? Wouldn't it be better to go through the door, have the imp's attention and eye contact, and then shoo them out? Whoa. What are you doing? She's climbing up to the window. Yeah, I noticed, but people are watching? The shopkeeper is right over there, watching you right now. And if I asked, she'd probably let you use the stairs, like an ordinary... Ajia cuts you off with a glare and clarifies she's climbing up to the window for reconnaissance. So, we can see what these ones are up against before going headlong into the room. The only thing this one is planning to steal is a quick glance through the window. Oh, that's not what I thought was going on here. This one is going to resume climbing now, unless you have a better idea. Katia used 2 mirrors and telekinesis to construct invisible periscope. Look into the room from safe distance to assess situation. Wait, she has to look at where the item's going. So that might not work out quite well. Unless she figures out how to rotate it, then she could do it with 1 mirror. Actually, yeah, I do. Hold on a minute. I have an idea that should let the 2 of us scout out the room without being seen, and without potentially dangerous climbing, and without, some kind of theft. It'd be really cool, and it involves magic. You'll see. I scurried over to the shopkeeper. Do you have any hand mirrors? No. I lost most of my cosmetic stuff up on the second floor in the storage room. Do you have any other reflective things, like a very polished piece of metal or something? No. The town smith is the main supplier of metal goods. Do you have any kind of dark glass or shiny rock or anything else small or reflective that I could borrow for a minute? Nope, just like I said, my stock is somewhat limited at the moment. Never mind, just keep doing what you were doing. Katia asked the shopkeeper if there are any extra shields and or weaponry around. You'll probably need it. Now would be a good time to discuss pre-purchasing a weapon or shield from the shopkeeper. Deduce from her future cut. Better to have a weapon now than when we need it, then gold later if we succeed. She'll pay us less, make a sale, and get rid of the imps, and we'll have a weapon or shield better to face the imps. It's a win-win. You try to alleviate some of the awkwardness by striking up a conversation with the shopkeeper. Despite being a trained professional who can totally handle this, I'm looking to make this as safe as possible, and was wondering if I could pre-buy some supplies, for pre-using the money we'll get after we finish. She points to a cash-only sign. This is a shop, not a bank. I'm a shopkeeper, not a banker, and I don't usually deal in loans and things. That actually sounds like a reasonable request from Katia. Like something that could be, forfeited because, I know, but I'll have the money right as soon as I'm done. The chance of me getting those imps out for less than the Fighters Guild will be a lot better if I have a weapon or a shield or something. She finally shrugs and says, I suppose I can make an exception. After all, I'm not making any money with half my wares being held hostage upstairs. This is a general store, so it doesn't have a whole lot in terms of weapons or armors, but if I remember right, you're a mage, or at least a talkative wannabe, and I do have a few spell scrolls on hand. From left to right here, I have a basic healing spell, a skeleton summoning spell, and a low-tier shock resistance, a scroll of invisibility 2, though that one would eat up most of your life savings. Right, your entire half. I've never used a magic scroll before, and am I supposed to, study it and learn the spell, or does it magically teach me what I need to know, or... It's just magically charged paper. Mages back west tend to use wands. These are the same thing, but more disposable. An enchanter already formed the spell and imbued it with the necessary magicka. You just need to peel off the safety sticker, read the phrase off the scroll, and let it out. Not hard. Even a parrot can do it. Yeah. Now that I think about it, I remember reading that was one of the reasons they've been wiping all the birds out. So how much money are we talking for magic scrolls like this? Parrots accidentally reading magic scrolls. That's kind of funny. Okay, but hear me out. You're a pirate. You're fighting with a sword in one hand, and you take out the magic scroll, don't even open it, but you have an indicator on it for a parrot. So using the one scimitar to defend yourself, while you just pull out a scroll with the other hand, without even opening it, the bird says the command word, and boom, spell cast, one-handed. Battle Mage Pirate Skirmisher. There's not a lot of demand for magic supplies in Kvatch, so I'll probably be sitting on these for a while if I don't ditch them now. How's 20 septums each sound? 20 septums each. If you get the invisibility, you could sell it back for a lot more as long as you go to a different shop. I'll definitely consider it. I should run the idea by my partner first and make sure it doesn't conflict with anything she has planned. Thank you again for your help, and I promise me and my friend will have those imps handled and the shop accessible again before you can say impless. Impless, she says. It was a figure of speech. This is gonna take us like half an hour at least. Sure, cost the Fighters Guild. Are there any hard feelings with how me and my friend totally scored the best job, and now he's just gonna sit back and watch us all be professional? No hard feelings at all, he says. Your boldness is admirable, and I look forward to seeing what you can do. Oh, thanks, I guess. I'm sorry, and I hope I didn't take a job you really needed or anything like that. It's not a big deal, really. Use your tactical advantage of going through the window to get the drop on them. They'll never see you coming. Once Vajir is back down the rope, you ask her, what did you see? There are just 2 small imps, which won't be difficult for either of us alone. You nod and ask, are there any more preparations you want to make before going upstairs and dealing with them? Personally, I was thinking about pre-buying some spell scrolls, just in case. Is that a thing that you'd be interested in too? The shopkeeper said they could be used by anyone, not just wizardly people. Really, this one's only interested in getting paid and getting out of here. Right now, this one has to start clearing a path through that barricade to get up the stairs, since you apparently didn't even start while she was scouting. Sorry, I was trying really hard to make sure nothing goes wrong here. The imps shouldn't be difficult for either of us alone. The 2 of us have a match in numbers and superiority in tactics, and this one is completely certain this won't be a 10th as difficult as you're making it out to be. I really hope it isn't, because I'm tired of situations always turning for the worst when I enter them. Stop speculating the worst out of everything. Why? Because things usually turn out for the best? No, she replies, because it's annoying to listen to well-manicured kittens whine about how miserable their lives are. Best weapon that you have on hand. Makes sense, actually. You came up with that idea on your own. Or, that wasn't an idea. I thought you were going to use your claws as a weapon, since it's better than punching. They don't seem to be well manicured. In fact, they seem just fine. Nice and sharp. Excellent for clawing or scratching an imp to death if things go that south. Okay. Imagine you're in a dark alley, late at night, all alone. Except suddenly, you're not alone. A dark figure flows out from the shadows. You can make out that he's a cloaked man at about the same time as you see the naked sword in his hand, and the crossbow slung over his shoulder. He tells you, if you give him all your money and valuables, you won't get hurt. Your hands are ice when they reach into your pockets, shaking with fear, but then they harden with steely anticipation. Instead of your valuables, you pull out your tiny, half-inch-long dagger and wield it threateningly. Yeah, that's what claws are like. Half-inch long. Took me a bit too long to have that click. So, this does seem like an easy job, but don't let your guard down. If anything goes wrong, have a contingency plan. Lower tier shock resistance is sounding pretty good right now. Seeing as you're going into a room with imps in it, the rest you can buy later when they are maybe useful. I still remember my run-in with the imps from a few days ago. Specifically the gigantic bolts of lightning they hurled at me. My magic absorption powers might help, but with my luck I'd still rather play it safe than sorry. With the shopkeeper's permission, you pre-buy the magic scroll of lightning shield. Do you have the... Oh, she doesn't look like she has the amulet on. Oh, she wrote it with fire. That's neat. Just to be 100% official and professional, you write her a formal and professionally signed IOU professionally. That's actually pretty neat, and that might be impressive to her. Wait, what about the other scrolls the shopkeeper named for? What? I'm confused. Yeah, the rest of the scrolls summon Zavali? Wait. Yeah, the rest of the scrolls are summon Zavai? If they're anything like the Zavali wands back at home, they're way outside my price range and not really intended for combat scenarios. Get your butt over there and help your acquaintance clear the stairwell. Worry about all the horrible things that will probably go wrong during the mission, such as packs of imps holding in storage crates, waiting for a Khajiit to walk upstairs so that they can tear to pieces with her vicious imp claws. Their vicious imp claws. I just bought a scroll of shock's shield, in case either of us need it. Congratulations. Yeah, I got that. Are you completely certain you only saw 2 imps up there since, the plan relies on there just being 2? Yes, this one is. How can you be if it's a storage room? Could there be barrels and stuff they could be hiding behind? I am certain. This one is certain. I don't have any reason not to believe you. I'm just kind of nervous about it, since I had this thing recently where I thought everything was good going, but then it turned out it was just the effects of a charm potion. So I just want to check that you're completely... You should stop asking. Or, no, just death glare. No words. Almost preemptively use the Eye of Fear on accident. Be very careful clearing the stairs. You aren't on a strict time limit. If the imps hear you coming, best case is you lost the element of surprise and the fight to come is harder. Worst case, they come downstairs before you're ready and they hurt the shopkeeper. I doubt you'll get paid. Maybe the guy from the guild would step in and save the day, but again, you probably wouldn't get paid then. You very, very quietly sneak up the stairs, trying to keep your footsteps as light as possible. In the tense silence, I can hear my heart pounding in my ears. What are you doing? I'm trying to be very, very quiet, so the 2 of us will have a surprise on that wascally imps. Knock it off. I can hear you breathing down my back and it's creepy. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure everything goes according to plan and there aren't any more unexpected surprises. Nothing ever goes to plan in a fight. She gestures at you, must act quickly and on intuition. And if one has the right kind of intuition, it won't die. If its reactions are poor, it will. That's a little grim and depressing, but it sounds like you have experience. Were you ever a soldier? No, just quick enough to think on their feet and deal with danger. You're doing it again. That thing where you take any potential life advancement and obsess over it so hard you crush it in your well-manicured hands. And Rajira knows. Just roll with it. I guess I'm probably stressing over the details a little too much. Yeah. I'm going to talk about something else. What kind of fighting style do you have? I want to make sure you know what to expect. I want to make sure I know what to expect from you when you get in there, and... Rajir interrupts you. This one just climbed out of a well, yet somehow it manages to
both be less circular and less like a brick wall than this conversation.
I'm sorry I get talkative when I'm nervous, but I just want to figure out if you're more of a frenzied berserker who's gonna rush forward or careful and precise.
Yes, sure, those.
Oh, okay, that's, Okay, so Khajiit's talking like the third person. Most people talk in the first person, and I've realized that the way Katia talks is the second person. That might be like a joke, that she's like partially Cyrodilanized, but went from like third person to second person instead of all the way to first. I don't know, that's just kind of funny, but I've been trying to make her speaking first person. But it just clicked that that might be a joke.
Behold, here these ones are. Is that one ready? If you need a few more minutes to get lost in panicking and overthinking things.
Wow, I already said I was sorry.
Yes, but every moment you delay is another moment this one isn't getting paid for having endured this. Are you ready?
Relax, you pretty much can't mess this up. The most they're going to do is throw lightning at you inside a wooden stone house, so nothing is going to explode or suddenly catch fire. Not to mention a significant amount of whatever they throw at you will be absorbed by you. Just stick to beating them over the head with whatever heavy, non-breakable object you control with telekinesis. And if you absolutely must use a fire spell, make sure it's concentrated in a short-ranged attack, like a flamethrower to the eyes, nothing that's going to fly away from you and burn the house down. The worst thing that could possibly happen to you here is you get a little bit beat up / electrocuted. No pain, no gain. So what if there's a time for people to implement comments when Katia is like trying to think something over, and then no one suggests a response? Like, what would happen to her? Would she continue to overthink things? Or because we're technically her thoughts, if she's overthinking something, if we just stop typing, like giving her things to think about, does she just calm down and stop overthinking? Main plan. Simultaneous Eye of Fear. Shield Rajira from any potential conflicts. Fall back. Lightning Shield. Distract enemies from Rajira. Use Shield as deflector. Fall back 6. Run outside and hope a town guard sees you and any imps chasing you. Fall back 7. Death. She's got a lot of fallbacks. I remember everything you told me about how this is going to be easy. I tried to remember everything the Dark Wolf Elf Ghost taught me about witch hunting in case things go south. I remember that if anything goes wrong, I've got scrolls for protection, and a well-armed partner who can back me up. This is only my first stop tonight, and I've still got matters to attend to after this. Very important matters, in fact. Okay, I'm ready. Yeah, you did that with gloves on, hun. Rajir asks why you ruined that pair of gloves. It was so I could get my claws out easier. You know, claw fighting, I'm all about that. Katia, actually? No. This is a good spot to end it for now. Where we're about to finally face the imps. Took a little bit to get here. But we're gonna figure out, let's see here, 70-30 of 190 septums. 20-30, 190. That's, ooh, sevens are weird. 185 is halfway. You get about 1 part. 100 minus, okay, 200 divided by 3. 66.66666 repeating. That should have been a lot easier than it was, but I was trying to do it in my head the wrong way. Round that up to 67. Actually, no. Extra gold coins probably going to go to her. That's 46 gold. That's more gold than I think you've ever had. So, you're going to be walking out of this pretty rich, actually. I don't remember exactly how much 46 gold is, but it seems like a lot more than what you've had before. That's because you have to subtract the 20 that you owe. So, like, if I were her, I know Khajiit tactics, I would have made that a 40 and also taken that scroll of invisibility. Because that is very valuable, and I think even she would struggle to sell it to someone else, especially someone who works with magic scrolls, at a lower price than 20 gold. Like, seriously. Okay. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Till then, well, see ya.